Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my segment of Five in a Well. And my page on Facebook, check me out, is Jeff Grecki Fishing. Today we're going to talk about tournament prep, uh, beginner fishing, and in the next few months over the winter, I want to try to do a lot more instructional videos, and hopefully we can get a couple little on the water videos done. Uh, but as of right now, I'm going to go over some of the baits that I normally throw in the fall. And basically, I'll throw this about all summer too. When schooling fish, and they're schooling, I'm throwing one of these. And that's a Lucky Craft Sammy. I'll tell you what, when they are schooling and you throw this over top of them, I guarantee you one of them's going to frickin' explode on it, like it did last week when I was pre-fishing. Uh, Another good bait to have tied on, you can have a swim bait. This one right here is, you can check them out also. Is Scared Fishless. These are all hand poured baits, and my buddy Joe makes an awesome swim bait. He has them in a bunch of various sizes, uh, and they work phenomenal. This is another one of his. You can see the colors there, and he can do in a ton of different colors. It's amazing. Um, Even goes down to that size. Now this is one of the colors that I like that he makes the best. It's more like a bluegill type shad color. Um, so that's definitely a must in the fall, is to tie on a swim bait. Um, Also in the fall, what a lot of guys throw in the springtime is a Carolina rig. Now in the fall, I like to use a long leader. This leader here is probably close to, I don't know, 3 foot long. Sometimes they're suspended up off the bottom. You'll see on your finder, say you're in 20 feet and they're suspended in 15 to 16, 17 feet. So hopefully when I'm bringing this around on the bottom, that this bait's rising up off the top. And I usually like the Carolina rig, a little fluke junior. And it's about the same size as the bait fish. You always got to match that hatch. So that's another thing I like to throw in the fall. And you can't forget, some of your other baits. Sometimes, the fish, they'll be moving back in the creeks, in the creek channels. And you can't, sometimes if you find matted grass, you got to break out that frog. And also another bait that I like to throw in the fall is a shad color chatterbait. And this chatterbait here is from Battle Bait Company. I tell you what, this guy makes one of the best on the market chatterbaits. And also his jigs are phenomenal. I mean, he has some really nice quality stuff. And these hooks are like super sharp. And I got a little Context swim bait on the back, which in the water, it's unbelievable. So on that scenario, there's a few baits that I covered, for fall time. And you can't roll out these finesse rigs like the Ned rig and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to fishing something that light, I basically suck, because I consider myself somewhat of a power fisherman, and about the only finessing I do is probably a Senko. And that's another bait, you keep tied on in the spring. Here's another one that I like to throw. This is one of my main go-to baits all summer long. I can't tell you how many bass I've caught off of these baits. And this is called a Yamamoto creature bait. I like to throw green pumpkin. I got a couple different colors of green pumpkin and also in black. And if you're a night fisherman, I tell you, if you can find them at night and you're throwing this and dragging it on the bottom, you're going to be real successful. So there's a couple of them that I like to throw. I'm not going to dig every rod out of my rod locker, but one I'm going to dig out is this big bad boy right here that we know in the fall, which everybody usually out on the lake, a tournament fisherman in the fall, is going to be throwing this bait right here. If I can get it unhooked. And that's the A-rig. This thing is unbelievable, and it's like casting a bomb. This is a Bass Pro Shop. A-rig, they're not real durable, but you get what you pay for because they were only like $4 a piece, so I bought a few of them. But you can buy the titanium ones that bend back into place. You're not bending these all. But what I like to do with these is when I'm throwing them, I like to use the lightest weight I possibly can for the swim bait heads. 1/8 ounce. You want to put an 1/8 ounce on just about all of them, and maybe one like this, and you put like a 1/4 ounce. It works. And I got these are some hand poured swim baits that I have tied on here, and then I have the 2 different types up here. So when I'm throwing this, I always have 1 or 2 odd colors. I don't know why, but the bass seem to like it. Now I throw this on 20-pound Berkeley trilene. It's strong. So to cover that's another, and I throw. This is probably not the correct rod to be throwing it in, but this is the rod I got now that I throw this on. It's a 7'6" Bass Pro Shop Extreme rod. One thing is a retractable handle, so when I'm throwing this thing, I got one hand back here and I'm tossing it. So that's another bait you got tied on in the fall. And in having all your basics covered tournament morning, and it can be mind-boggling, because there's times where, okay, you're catching them on one bait and you don't have to get all them rods out in the deck. Another bait that I love to throw in the fall is a jerk bait. Jerk baits are phenomenal in the fall, especially on river systems. I mean, river systems are unbelievable in the fall, especially with jerk baits. I've caught fish on jerk baits in like the Susquehanna River down to 39-degree water temp. And there's a technique we call dead sticking. And we get above the shelves and we'll anchor and throw down to the shelf at like a 45-degree angle, get it jerked down, reel it a little bit, and let that jerk bait hover right just beyond that shelf and just hold it there. When you're holding it there, You just hold it. You don't really have to move it. Every once in a while, you might just shake the tip of your rod a little bit, maybe give a little shimmer. And all of a sudden, you'll feel a boom, 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 boom. They'll just start hitting it. But you don't set the hook until your rod bends. You know, that's why you got to use a rod with a really soft tip. So it lets them have it. Because it's in front of their face and they just can't stand that. But anyways, this is just one of my first videos that I'm doing. You know, eventually I'll get a little better at this. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. And like I said, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just look for Jeff G. And, you know, subscribe and like. And hopefully I'll have a bunch more coming real soon. We'll catch you later.